So Pete, choose a magic card.
Oh, great. Fabulous.
There you go. What's that one say?
Become a reader.
Become a script reader.
No, reader.
Oh, become a reader.
Or a script. We can interpret it as we like. Any direct experience of that, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, personally, once you've read 100 screenplays in a row, you start to see quality, and you start to see where other people's work is failing. And as soon as you have that insight, you start to see it in your own work. So it improves your own work. After 100 or so scripts, I've always found it hard, and I must admit I'm fairly terrible that if I don't get grabbed on the first page, I struggle to get past that first page, and perhaps I shouldn't. But that's just a reality of where I've been personally, and I do think it's vital to have almost a killer first sentence.
Yeah.
To get right in, to treat the reader with the appropriate amount of respect. Like, your time is valuable. I will get to the point. I will be exciting, and I will engage on the genre that is implied in the title of the movie.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people echo that sentiment, and a lot of people, especially in Hollywood. I mean, I know from my experience, having just come back from LA a few weeks ago, I met a lot of people who admitted to me they don't read past 10, 15 pages. A lot of agents, they say they kind of get it. They either get it or they don't. So you absolutely have to have a killer first 10 pages.
Okay.
Okay, next card. Your turn, Chris.
Oh, no, my turn.
Yeah,
okay.
because that wasn't really yours.
Here we go. The magic. Assist someone.
Okay. Yeah, I think assisting... Now, it depends if we're talking about screenwriting or breaking into the industry in general.
Let's go breaking into the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think assisting is a great way, especially if you get in a really good company, because, it is, I think you were mentioning about Julian's comment, it's about the relationships, isn't it, ultimately, that it comes down to. And, if you get a foot in at Working Title or, Universal or one of these companies, or Heyday Films, it's about those relationships, about knowing those people. I have a friend who was assisting David Heyman, and she was the one who read the Harry Potter book when it came in and said, "David, you've got to read this book. It's amazing. It would make a great film." And she's no longer working for him, but you establish that relationship, and you can call on that person later, and it becomes you less of a working relationship, but more of a personal relationship that you can hopefully use to your advantage somewhere down the line.
And of course, those relationships can often lead to mentorship as well.
Yes,
that can last a whole lifetime.
Absolutely.
And I mean, one of the things I've seen is that if you're assisting someone powerful, you may not have any power in the room, but you are in the room.
Yeah.
When the big stuff goes down.
Yeah. And I think, importantly, make friends with assistants if you're on the other side of it, because those assistants escalate within the ranks of whatever business they're in. Agents' assistants become agents. All of them do. People working in development become end up working in production. So it's good to make friends with those people. You never know what kind of relationship you'll have later on.
Okay, so now it's your turn.
Okay, my turn.
There you go.
Thank you very much. That was like forcing a card. Dumb luck.
Dumb luck.
I mean, I think luck plays a huge part in breaking into the industry. It really does. You can't underestimate being in the right place at the right time.
But that isn't luck, is it? Being in the right place at the right time really isn't luck. Isn't luck a magical word that we use to explain other people's success?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the way to look at it is the combination of your talent, you taking action, and then things just being there and the way that they are. The world conspiring to your favor or against you for the if you're walking down the street and you get hit by a car, that's just kind of unlucky. If Steven Spielberg happens to be in the car, that makes it a bit more lucky for you. But luck plays a huge part. However, you're going to have less luck if you do not take action.
Yeah.
I think that's the key. If you're sitting at home and you've got a screenplay and you're not sending it out to anyone, you're not going to get lucky. If you consciously choose to attend the London Screenwriters Festival and go and speak to people, then luck is going to play a huge part in how that weekend or day develops for you. And the key to creating luck in your life is to first take action.
Okay. Next one. Is it me or you?
It's you.
Oh, it's me now,
Yeah.
so I'm going to magically... Okay, film school. Go to film school.
Did you go to film school, Chris?
I did. I went to film school. Well, you know, it's funny, I was talking about this the other day. I went to film school back in the day when film school wasn't really film school. It was really a film department bolted on the side of an art college. So, in all honesty, it was an art college that had some cameras. And so when, on the first day, we were asked to stand up and say, what was your favourite film or the most important, influential film of the last year? And people are talking about Derek Jarman's Blue and you know...
I can guess what your film was.
And I stood up
Aliens.
and I said, no. I stood up and said, George P. Cosmatos' Rambo First Blood Part 2. And from that point, I was pariahed, probably quite rightly.
Right.
But I did, you know, and I learned some enormous lessons at film school. And what I've taken away from my 2 years at film school that I bring into my daily life is a kind of high level of professionalism, just on the basic stuff like turning up on time, like being present and listening and doing the job you said you were going to do. And I think what I got from film school was the peer group, was all of my friends who didn't necessarily become successful very quickly, but I would say about half of them are still in the business, going at it, some of them much more successfully than others, but we're all still within this peer group and still, you know, friends. So I really value that, and I think that's one of the great things that film school can offer you. In 2010-11 and beyond, you know, who knows, because film school is an expensive thing. It's become very commercialised. I suspect it is right for some people, but for others it may just be...
You could always buy the Guerrilla Filmmaker's Handbook.
Well, there you go. Film
Available
school
on Amazon.com, $4.99. Yeah. But no, I totally agree with you. For me, exactly the same thing. You know, while I didn't learn a tremendous amount about as much as I felt I could at film school, for me it was ultimately about those relationships with the people I met, who a handful have gone on to become very, very successful. And who I still, you know, am in touch with, and I'm working with one or two of those people. Other people, it hasn't happened, you know, and they've gone into different professions. And I think one of the things you have to reconcile with as a filmmaker or an artist is, you know, it happens for people at different times. And ultimately, it's not a competition. It's not a race. If you never make it, which some of you may never actually do, it's okay. You know, it doesn't really ultimately matter. You know?
And in fact, if you are treating it as a race, you're actually setting yourself up for a terrible disappointment.
Absolutely.
Because the end ain't worth it.
No.
You know, it's all about the journey, isn't it?
Correct. It's all about the journey, like any good screenplay.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know what's going to happen at the end of a rom-com, but it's all about the journey.
Exactly.